This video is about focus. So, something about me, I've always found it a little bit difficult to focus on things that I don't enjoy. Now, I think a lot of people will say, hey, this is not unusual, and they're probably right. Like, it's something that everyone experiences, but where I've found that maybe it was a little bit different was finding challenges in sticking out various jobs, finding it difficult to completely stay focused when I'm learning new skills and stuff. However, I also found on the flip side where whenever I was working on anything I was super interested in, I would become completely absorbed into it, like hyper focused. I would spend up to 4, 5, 6 hours or the whole day and not feel like I need to take a break or anything like that, and then realize, hey, why do I feel, why am I crashing or feel exhausted because I haven't had any food or whatever, right? So an example of this was when I first got my motorbike, and I was looking at the different things involved when I first got into photography, and I was looking at all different gear, and I always see this trend. But when it comes to things that I don't particularly enjoy, I find it super hard to focus. So I wanted to share with you guys a couple of things that have worked for me, and let's get into some of those things. Alright, so what worked for me was having a consistent sleeping cycle, so having pretty good sleep hygiene, sleeping at the same time every night, avoiding devices, all this sort of stuff that you guys already know. It's pretty intuitive, right? So don't stay on your phone, don't try to get into really engaging content or something that's going to stimulate the mind before you go to bed. These are some basic tips. And what I also found was having regular exercise. So definitely when I was in some sort of routine, going to the gym, doing a bit of cardio, doing a bit of weights, or more recently I've gotten into cardio boxing. So that's helped me, that's definitely given me a boost of energy throughout my day. And other than that, honestly, I think this is something, and you guys are welcome to challenge me on this, but I'd say that a lot of people place all this focus on diet, they place all this focus on sleep, and I think these are true, but something that's even more important than these two things is your mental health and being able to find your ways to deal with stress. So I know that, for example, I really struggle with letting stress sort of take over and affect how I actually sleep, and then also that rolls over into my sleep hygiene. So being on top of that, some of the things that I've learnt over time is managing my stress levels through meditating, walking, doing lots of walking, and also just finding activities that are low stress. So hanging out with friends if I've been cooped up in the house for a long time, some great ways to deal with that. So to my point, make sure that your stress levels are low when you're in periods of recovery, right? So when you're in periods where you're not trying to actively work on a project or work on things, find ways to rest productively, and that's going to be the most important in terms of mindset in order for you to easily get on top of your diet, get on top of your sleeping. So another factor for why many of our attention spans, or why our focus as a whole in society may have dropped off, is a lot of people are demonizing and blaming social media as the reason why having these devices and having technology at our fingertips, scrolling through our Instagram feed, checking what's the latest on our Facebook feed, and keeping up to date with those kind of things, having unlimited amount of videos through YouTube makes it really hard to focus. While I totally agree with that, I think that social media is demonized for the wrong reasons, it basically exposes who we are as people anyway. It exposes the personality or the person that you are anyway. So if it wasn't YouTube, if it wasn't for my phone, I would be distracting myself with other things. So I think it's more important to focus and think about the core reasons why you're actually being distracted and managing those sort of things. So basically, to summarize, I think being able to focus on managing your stress, being able to incorporate little things like adding healthy food to your diet, having that consistency, building those things over time, and obviously getting a bit of exercise, building on healthy relationships. All these things work together indirectly to help your focus, and implementing little tactical things like taking short breaks after every 20 or 25 minutes of intense focus, whether you're reading a book, working on any particular project, or maybe you're studying for a particular exam, whatever it might be.